Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to NARAB, Realtist Creating Pathways to Home Ownership. You are in for an absolute treat today. We have a special guest that's going to be talking about the big elephant that's in the universe right now, the meta. But before we get going, we just want to introduce ourselves and first of all, thank NARAB, North Texas chapter of the North Texas Association of Real Estate Brokers, Miss Laura Washington, our president, for having us facilitate today. And what are we doing? We are trying to get renters to become homeowners, provide information that's going to empower and close that gap for home ownership, build wealth, etc. We want to do that by keeping you informed and equipped with the information that you need in order to make informed decisions about your financial future. I'm Rosalind Booker, Rosby, board member of NARAB, and I am the principal broker, CEO of Arbrook Realty. We're a full service real estate company in the North Texas area. Also, the director of Arbrook Cares. We are a 501c3, and we link arms with alliances, community, right? Financial institutions and organizations that would have renters become homeowners. We birth dreams and build legacies in real estate. So I have my partners with me today. Drum roll for Miss Rhonda Hutchison, the Lone Lioness.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Rhonda Hutchison, and I am the Lone Lioness. I'm a residential mortgage lender. And just like Roz said, I'm here to link arms with those like minded individuals, such as Roz and Chris, who what we're doing is we're linking arms together to move those from renting to home ownership to build generational wealth. Again, I'm a residential mortgage lender. I do everything. I don't want to just say what I don't want to put a limit on what I do, but because I'm doing everything. And listen, I got a new tagline. Y'all better get used to it because you're going to hear it more and more. Listen, this is what it's a jungle out there, y'all, and I'm here to help you navigate through it.
Oh, go on. Yeah,
I'm here to help you navigate through education and like Chris said, he gonna say in consultation. But I'm here to help you navigate through that to get into home ownership so we can build generational wealth together. And excited to be here. Listen, I was telling them I'm so old. I'm so excited.
you old. You are old. I agree with you. You said I don't agree with you. You are old. I'm agreeing with you. You are old.
Look, Mikail is going to blow y'all mind. I'm still like, what you just say? But I'm excited to be here to learn more because this is going to be the future. Let's just
get in it. Yes,
it is what it is.
Get in with the get in.
Yep. Mr. Chris.
Okay. I'm Chris Ziegler with the Ziegler Agency Allstate, located in Frisco, Texas, serving the DFW Metroplex and the whole state of Texas. And my motto is customer service with a personal touch. And Mikail said something earlier. He said, jack of all trades. I talked about that as well, Mikail, but I got my own spin too. I said, jack of all trades is master of all.
Yeah, not master of one. That's what I know.
Somebody said, Chris, you can't be the master of all, but I said, yes, I can, because I have a strong staff that backs me up and who are experts in all the areas that they're in. So, hey, it can be done. And I'm just excited to have Mikail on here today. You guys know I love to talk and run my mouth and ask a lot of questions.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
So that stuff Mikail was talking about was like, shoo. I was like, hey. And so when we get off this call, I'm going to tell Mikail to give me his personal cell phone number because I got to get in where I fit in and try to understand this Metaverse, NFT, PPT, whatever all these acronyms are throwing me off as well. So I'm excited to have him on here today and to be on the show as well. And then we're going to let Mikail introduce himself real quick. I'm going to say a quick prayer after he introduces himself, and then we're going to get in fast and furious, guys. That hour goes by quick.
Yes, it sure does.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. My name is Mikail Hernandez. Can I say I'm regular like everybody else. I started off in the service industry. That's where my passion lies. I feel like just some of the best moments in life are on the dinner table or in the kitchen. So I always wanted to be around that and be able to, create those memorable moments for people, right? Then my aspirations grew. I wanted to own a restaurant because I'm like, oh, now I could control the environment, which I have create these moments and experiences for people. Then 2 years ago, I broke my shoulder in a snowboarding accident, and then I started wondering, I'm like, what if I can't even hold the plate anymore? What if this? What if that? I found forex trading. I found crypto investing, stock trading, all of that, and I fell in love with the crypto because I just saw the future and of just how the utility and just that technology, all these cryptocurrencies, just how it's being adopted worldwide. So then NFTs came into it, and I was just like, wow, I always wanted to collect art, but if you see, I live in a railroad apartment. That I could get I could get swarmed by this real quick. So then digital art came out, and I was like, wow, now I could store digital art now in a digital wallet. I'm in. Then land, I was like, I always wanted to do real estate. I've been always playing Monopoly. I was like, I want to be in real estate. And then now digital land, so I'm like, yes, I got a chance now. So I've just been immersed I'm just a crypto investor now. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what is very interesting, and I mean, I feel very honored. I mean, Mikail, I've heard you speak to our group, which is Lifestyle Changers, which is a part of a financial literacy company, an organization that provides, a plethora of opportunities for people to create and generate multiple streams of income and wealth, which we'll share at the end of the program. But I love your passion. I love the depth of your knowledge and how you've really taken the time to kind of peel back this onion. Oh my God, there's so many layers to this metaverse. And the truth is, we are just getting going. So without further ado, we're going to have Chris open us up in prayer.
All right. Heavenly Father, we first and foremost, as we say every second and fourth Tuesday to God, to give us opportunity to have a platform to grow and to help other people grow as well, Father. And it's going to help us to grow, like we were saying, although we were joking, Father, to have Mikail on here today to help us to broaden our horizons, Father. We try to bring people on that can not only help us grow, but help us grow as well, and to not to be stale in our thought process and the things that we're doing, so we can move forward and to take advantage of all the utensils and gifts that you've put out there for us to take advantage of, Father. We ask that you watch over us, dear God, in our daily activities, and to help us to walk a path on a day-to-day basis through your Son, Jesus Christ, here on earth, to have kingdom living here on earth, dear God, and it has to help us understand the way you should have us to go. We ask you, Father, to watch over us from a physical, mental, emotional standpoint, and help us, Father, just to be strong and healthy in all aspects of our lives. These are blessings we ask in your Son's name we pray, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. Mikail, I just want to start with a pointed question, and you can take it from here. What is Metaverse? What is it?
So the Metaverse, I have to kind of paint the picture, right? So imagine you going out to visit an art gallery, then dashing over down the road to an amusement park, right? Then going to gamble at the Atari, casino, then make it in time, just for a little Easter egg treasure hunt, and then make it in time for your board meeting, all at the comfort of your desk, right? That happens all in Decentraland, right? And that is a metaverse. So to kind of talk about the metaverse, we have to understand what a metaverse is now, right? The metaverse is simply the next generation of the internet. So the internet we're using right now is considered Web 2, right? We're on a centralized platform, and they control what we do to a certain extent, right? Web 3 is completely decentralized. It means nobody owns it, only the inhabitants own it, right? So now that's the next generation of internet. Currently, there is no universally accepted definition of metaverse because it's still brand new. It is still in the experimentation phase, right? It's like the Big Bang of the internet all over again, which is so phenomenal. So I simply describe it as a virtual world that's inhabited by real world people, but it's just simply much more than that, because I think I mentioned before, the possibilities are endless.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? The first time I've heard metaverse, and correct me or confirm this, is I remember Mark Zuckerberg was talking about changing Facebook to Meta changing the actual name. Is that kind of like in the same? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes. So how I could so right now, so there's multiple metaverses. So how I could think of them as like different countries right now.
Okay.
So that's how. So right, Decentraland is one country, Sandbox is another. Mark Zuckerberg
Ah,
working on
okay.
his metaverse. Bandai Namco is working on. They just filed a license patent for their metaverse. Barbie is doing theirs. So
Oh.
people are trying to fight that. They're trying to race for to establish their country right now.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Woo, again. Woo.
So the playing field in the metaverse is endless, and you tap into this metaverse by what vehicle electronically? How do you get in the door or in the land? How do you fly or get transported to this land?
Great question. So there are some platforms where you're able to just use your computer and just create an avatar. So people are familiar with like games like Roblox or Minecraft. You could just sit on your computer with a keyboard and mouse and use the avatar and go forth. Go on wayward.
Mikail, I'm gonna cut you off real quick.
Of course.
Explain avatar.
So avatar is pretty much it's like if you ever played like a game, like any game that you use, like the character that you use is essentially an avatar. Like if you play Tomb Raider, like Lara Croft is the avatar. But in today's time, you're able to customize your avatar. Like with like NBA 2K, you get to create your My Player. That is your avatar in the neighborhood realm. Same thing with Roblox. You create your avatar and you get to do whatever you want.
Okay, we're gonna really break this down because, like we said, we are old.
That's the movie Avatar, right?
So how do you create an avatar?
Okay.
So is it like a digital character? Is that really what it is? It's just a digital character.
Essentially. So usually in most like 99% of games, before they even let you enter the world, you have to create the avatar. So they be like, create your character, and then you personalize it however you want, and then they put you through the tutorial phase and how to work the land and how to use the buttons and stuff like that. So usually that's like your onboarding to any game nowadays.
And again, where do you go get this avatar created?
Okay, so yeah, they'll be on their internet, so they'll be on their main website. So if you go on, Decentraland, whether through the Oculus application, you'll create. So some of them you could do on a computer, some of them you actually need an Oculus or like some type of VR headset.
Gotcha. Okay, now you can go back.
Yeah.
You
didn't taught us.
All right, so now we understand. We understand what it is now. It's just it's a virtual world, right?
It's a virtual world, right?
Like movies like Ready Player One, even Grand Theft Auto is a virtual world because you have an avatar and you roll around doing crazy things like that. Even movies like Black Mirror, they allude to the metaverse and things like that. Yeah.
So it's like the Matrix or something.
Essentially, it is. So it's funny because there's a quote in Ready Player One where he says in like the monologue or something like that. He goes, "People come here because of what you can do, but people stay because of what you can be." Like, and in this space, you can be anything. You can be a best-selling artist. You could be the top designer. You could be a top architect.
Wow.
You could be anything.
Yeah. Well, here's what's interesting. I was doing a little bit of research myself. Last year, the Meta produced 500 million in sales, and I understand this year it's expected to double. And this is really crazy. People are making bukus of money by investing in the metaverse. What are some of the things that can be purchased in the metaverse?
So in the metaverse, I'm gonna use Decentraland a lot because I feel like Decentraland is the most established, and I feel like I could use Sandbox because Snoop Dogg is a part of it, but it's very similar to like Minecraft and Roblox. So Decentraland, I feel like it's very separate and very unique. But the thing that you could buy is you could buy parcels of land. You can, and that's the main thing that's like the main thing in Decentraland is that you want is the parcels of land.
Mm-hmm.
You could develop on top of it. You could rent it out, right? So that's where a lot of people can make money too, just like in the real world. Like you rent out a commercial space and you can make the money as long as you have, as long as the profits exceed the expenses, it works. You can host your NFTs. You could create your own like NFTs and clothing. You could sell it on the marketplace. Decentraland has its own like builders mode where you could create things and you can actually get paid in their currency, which is mana. Like it's a lot.
Right. So, could you break down what an NFT is? What does that stand for, and what is it?
So NFT is it stands for non-fungible token. Simply put, just non-replaceable token, non-replaceable item. Like in the real world, the Mona Lisa is a non-replaceable item. There's only one of that. It's unique. It cannot be duplicated, right? Okay. Land is non-fungible. You can't duplicate land. You just can't. So it's a digital asset, essentially. So it's a digital asset. People who are familiar, like who have children who play Roblox, like I said, Minecraft or even Fortnite, you buy the skins, you buy the little gun skins, the little hoodies. Those are non-fungible tokens. It's just they only stay within the realms of the game. But when you buy an NFT, you can transfer it all along the Ethereum blockchain. And different NFTs have different utilities. So that's what makes it very intricate and complex. Different things. There are like just NFTs that are strictly art, which is cool. There are NFTs that are games. Like there's a game called Troverse coming out where the NFTs are the planets, and the game is supposed to be about space exploration. And you'll be you get to mine resources on the planet. But if you own the planet, you get a commission on the mine resources. So you're actually getting passive income in cryptocurrency, which could be transferred into USD, which it gets crazy.
This is interesting. So talk to us about how someone would actually purchase. So you're not purchasing in this virtual meta with actual USD dollars, right? Like the dollar,
right?
Or is it, what currency is it?
So we wouldn't be using like the fiat. So how we would do is we would use our US dollars and buy like a cryptocurrency on an exchange like Coinbase, crypto.com, whatever. Then you would transfer it to like another exchange. You would bridge it to another exchange that is compatible with the NFT or the Metaverse, like MetaMask or Phantom or whatever it is, or Coinbase can do it all. And then you would make the purchase that way.
So let's stop. So you have your money, your US dollars, if you're from the US, that you're purchasing a cryptocurrency, Ethereum, right? And then that Ethereum has to be converted to the token or the currency that particular metaverse accepts. Is that what you said?
So yeah. So like for example, Decentraland is on the Ethereum blockchain. So you would convert your United States dollar to Ethereum and then purchase whatever it is that you want to purchase.
Gotcha.
Like if you want to purchase, with the Decentraland, you could use Mana too. You could use their tokens or Ethereum. But mainly when you purchase an NFT, you're going to use Ethereum.
Who set that up? Who mandated that, or who regulates that? Who determined that?
Nobody regulates it. That's the interesting part. So there are NFTs on Bitcoin. There are NFTs on Solana. There are NFTs, but it's about popularity, right? It's like iPhone. Why iPhone is mainly the most popular thing is because it's very user friendly. It has a built-in anti-theft software where you don't have to worry about things like that. So it's easily adopted. It's easily, people can easily get to use it and start learning how to use it. But with the Android, it's like a little computer. You have to really know what you're doing. With Ethereum, it's the reason why it's the most popular one is because it's the only one that's been really time tested. It's more secure than other ones. Solana, they are more prone to get hacked. The other ones, and Bitcoin it's not really, that's not the main utility that Bitcoin was for. So it's like people are not really familiar with it.
Oh, that's a question I had for you then. That's what I was trying to figure out. So Ethereum is this a individual? So it competes with Bitcoin and some of these other ones. Is just Ethereum is actually a brand and they can compete against Bitcoin and some of the other currencies. Because they said about 17,000 currencies out there, I believe, or something like that. Is that correct? Yeah. Somewhere around that number. So Ethereum is just one of like 17,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, there are tons of them. Most of them, they all say they compete with Bitcoin, but they really all follow Bitcoin. It's the grandfather. They all, if you look at them on the charts, they all follow Bitcoin. Whether it be a day later, a week later, but they follow Bitcoin. It's just the utility that each of these cryptocurrencies provide or say they're going to provide is what is their opportunity or potential to separate themselves from Bitcoin. But Bitcoin it's more than just a crypto token. It's like it's a lot of countries' main currency now. I forgot. I think one of the Central American currencies is their only thing is now Bitcoin now. So it's like, you're not going to get that with like Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, But Ethereum, like I said, it's where NFTs are mainly bought. So that's one of its back foundational utilities, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna use one of my old school analogies to make sure I'm trying to understand this. So back, McDonald's might not be number one there, but back in the day, McDonald's was the king of the hill. Yes. So you have McDonald's, you have Burger King, you have Sonic, you have Wendy's.
Right.
Are those Ethereum like the same thing as McDonald's? McDonald's is the
correct. So exactly. So McDonald's is
the old school.
Exactly. McDonald's is the big boy, and if you think about it, all of the other like fast food chains, they kind of try to model their business after McDonald's, but they just can't do it. It's a derivative. And anything that is a derivative of the original will never be as good because you can't keep up because you're not in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I'm with you. So I see I had to dumb it down for myself.
Yeah, you had to break it on down.
Exactly. So, Mikail, what are some of the pricing that you're seeing out there in the metaverse for like a parcel of land? And, I understand there are a lot of real estate developers really jumping head first into this, like buying up virtual land so they can do malls, parks and amusement. It's endless stadiums.
Mm-hmm. So the cheapest one, I looked at it at like maybe 3 a.m. It was the cheapest parcel, like the smallest parcel that you could buy in Decentraland is 52 feet by 52 feet. I don't know how big that is. I don't know as far as space.
Ooh, that's pretty big. I mean, that's less
like
than a zero lot.
Like a warehouse, right? Something like that.
Well, it's a small building. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so that's good. So that's where like people could buy. So the cheapest one is around $10,000 right now. And
do you know what the prices were when this got started? Do you kind of know the inception of some prices? Because I know 10,000. Seems,
astronomical, right? But most good question. So most mints when they first come out, because I've seen a few like NFT, like real estate NFT brand projects launch. Most when they first launch, they launch at like a reasonable price around anywhere from $300 to about $1,000. So which is reasonable because you're talking about real estate when a project first launches. I think Decentraland started in like 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So, and this is when the NFT space first started. So,
wow.
So of course, it wouldn't be that much. I think 3-4 months ago, the cheapest plot of land was about $6,000. But here's the thing about Decentraland too: when it's tied to cryptocurrency, the value fluctuates based on how good the crypto is doing or how bad the crypto is doing. Like when Ethereum is going up, NFTs are doing bad because it's more expensive to buy one NFT. But then when Ethereum is doing bad, people they have the crap table buying NFTs because it's like
gotcha.
It's easy to buy at 200. When Ethereum is at 2,100 or something like that, it's easy to buy an NFT for $210. But when it's at 7,000, that's a $700 NFT or more. So it's a little harder to swing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Is Decentraland and Sandbox, are those competitors?
Yes, they are. They are competitors. The distinct difference for me is that Sandbox is pixelated. Decentraland, it looks more real. It's still cartoony, but it looks more real. So when we're talking about making simulations of famous buildings, or we're talking about architecture and development, like when you want to, like I think Republic Realm, they're like an investment firm company, a digital investment firm. They build like office buildings and rent them out to other companies to use in the metaverse. You want to have the best 3D rendering team or the best graphics to really represent your building, right? So I think that although Sandbox is dope because they do like concerts and stuff like that, and they have buildings too, I just think Decentraland, it's more appealing to what adults want to do in their business.
It's funny when I'm listening to you guys talking about this. I was saying it's art imitating life. It seems like life is imitating art because
Exactly.
it's funny we're talking about this. I think about the movies like Total Recall back in the day. You said, they kind of, it's back in the 80s, but it's relevant. It seems a lot of that stuff seems so archaic, well, futuristic, but now it ain't so much futuristic now because the stuff that was in that movie is actually happening real time right now. But you said you can kind of get detached and everything to where you kind of, there's another show I was watching where people got detached because they got so locked into this stuff where they kind of got lost in these alternative realms and stuff like that. But this is real now.
It's very real.
Yeah.
They have people working full time in the metaverse. They have real estate agents and everything. Like they have a lot. They have hired people to like help try to buy and move property, and they have people like to work in like the casinos to help people learn how to use them. Like this is here.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I know of a very wealthy and well-known sister who has openly said she has liquidated all of her bricks and mortar real estate and invested it in the metaverse.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm like,
I could. Oh,
ooh.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question about that. So, what is your thoughts on that? Somebody said that totally liquidating. You think somebody should kind of, I guess it's going to be individual choice, but from your experience, would you go all in? Do you think sometimes you still might need to kind of hold on to some of the older traditional stuff, or should you jump in on, like I said, just jump in the pool? Don't dip your toe in. Just go ahead and jump in.
So we always say, not financial advice.
Right.
Exactly.
Not financial advice. But me personally, I would have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Because this world is not going anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we watch, like I knew the metaverse was coming since like 1996, watching Hackers with Angelina Jolie and stuff like that. I knew this world was gonna be here. I was just like, I just had to be an adult to get here. But when it comes to that, here's what I think. All right, so the cons of like having like a home, like right. Weathering, a storm destroys your home, a tornado could destroy your home, a car could a drunk driver come and just swerve off, run right through your home, and now you got to deal with that. Yeah, you're gonna get paid for it, but you still got to live with a big hole in your house, things like that. Your businesses, people could rob your business, things like that. All of the insurance purposes that could come with it, like riots and stuff like that, like all these things that could take money, all these liabilities, right? But in the digital world, there's no liabilities. You can't destroy my my property. There's no zoning laws. There's no, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like about the metaverse too. Like I could build it however high the game allows me to. You know what I'm saying? Like I could defy gravity with my buildings. I could draw things that, I don't have to talk about the department. I don't have to consult with the Department of Transportation about, I gotta wait to this. I gotta talk to the MTA because this. All that costs money too, right? I don't got to worry about none of that in the metaverse, but I can still conduct business. You want a consultation for my therapy session? You want a tarot card reading? I can still do that in the metaverse. It's all the algorithm.
Let me ask you a question. You said something that's in my wheelhouse and is near and dear to me. You said insurance. So, do they have insurance for the metaverse, or is it some kind of entity that's out there that does that? Or can you explain that to us?
Currently, no.
All right, Chris, that's your opportunity.
It's the
Chris, you better talk to your peoples and say, why are we not in this space?
All right, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It is the streets. It is the wild, wild west in the NFT world, in the metaverse. There's no laws right now. It's decentralized. We essentially create the community and decide the future and the fate of the community, right? So what does that bring? A lot of great minds and a lot of messed up minds, right? I've been waiting for one of y'all to ask me what the catch was to all this.
What's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch?
Right. So, right, the catch. All right, I wrote it down. Right. So the catch is quite a few catches, right? So since it's not decentralized, there's no regulatory entity that can say like, all right, this is that, right? There's the blockchain, right? The blockchain verifies and authenticates everything, right? So nobody can duplicate your project because it'll be seen on the blockchain, right? So that's the one security you can have, right? Knowing that everything that you create is unique and always will be unique, right? But as far as like securities, there's no securities. So there has been a series of scams where
Oh wow.
right? So, but it's more to it than that. So, for example, people had a NFT called Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And a lot of people's were stolen from them. And these are $220,000 minimum assets. And this will go into your question about people taking NFTs as mortgages and stuff like that.
Right.
I'll get that, and that's where that ties into it, right? So people are stealing these assets, right? But it's not the platform OpenSea's fault. It's because these people did a price one time, and instead of, because it's a gas, everything is there's a transaction fee when you use Ethereum, and I'll get into that too because there's also a catch for that. It's a transaction fee, but some people try to dodge the transaction fee, so that they'll do is they'll swap it to another wallet and keep that listing open and relist it somewhere else. But if I go find your old listing and I buy it at that price, that's still a legal sale. You just put two sales up for the same item, but I took the cheaper price, right? So some people was like, oh, you stole it. No, I found a loophole that you created. So
you beat somebody at their own game, basically.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's that instance. Of course, there's hackers, of course, where they could, phishing emails. There was one where it's called OpenSea, but my thing is, I looked at it. The email said the platform is OpenSea, like the water sea, but the email was OpenSea, like sea. You know what I'm saying? You have to look.
You have to know. Yeah.
I don't. In this time, you have to realize, even before crypto, social engineering is real. Like people can pretend to be your friend, be like, hey, this is me, blah blah blah, and you won't even know. Like the O looks as like a 0, and you don't even know better. You got to be careful. But another catch is that there's money laundering. People have been using art to money launder for the longest of times. Now they're doing the same thing with NFTs because it's decentralized. You can't trace my money because my wallets can be anonymous. You can have multiple wallets. So of course you could be caught up in a money laundering thing, but hey, it's decentralized. I have nothing to do with that. So that's them. My property is my property. However they obtained it and got the money and did that, that's their business. But
so no FDIC insurance if you get scammed. You just out of that.
So I'm using Roz's example about the lady. She said she went all in. So if she gets scammed or whatever, she got to take it.
On Twitter, that's the best bet.
I get it. But in her defense, and I understand that because all of it'll be gone. But the potential, can you talk about the ROI and some of the money that people are making and what they're making money on, like the buying and the selling?
Right. So it's funny that you said that. So to give you an idea of how much buying and selling is going on. In 2021, in the second quarter of 2021, Decentraland and the Ethereum blockchain experienced $2.5 trillion in transactions. That was more than Visa, right? More than Visa. Everybody got a Visa card. Not everybody is in Decentraland, right? So that gives you an idea of the buying power and the money and the liquidity that's inside of that metaverse. That's why, and then we talk about potential. They see 2.5 trillion in microtransactions. They like, oh, I want a metaverse.
Yeah.
I want a metaverse too. Like, just give me 1% of that. I'm good.
Wow.
I can have 5 people walking through my metaverse. If y'all giving me 1% of that 2.5 trillion liquidity, I'm in.
So do you mean people pay you to walk through your?
So they are, like I said, the metaverse, the possibilities are endless. There are influencers that boost projects. Hey, there are people that are hired to kind of sell these plots.
Like I heard you mention, and I read something about it. Snoop Dogg is partnering with one of those.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is partnered with Sandbox. He has like a big estate in Sandbox, and people are paying top dollar to be neighbors to him because of like the value.
I was just getting ready to say, just like things that boost your market value here, being close to malls, easily accessibility to highway, whatever the buzz is. So the property values go up based on the demand.
Yep. So in the NFT space a metaverse land is the equivalent of buying like Fifth Madison Avenue in the 1500s, buying Times Square in 1700s. Like imagine locking in that real estate, and now looking at how much money that brings in 2022. Pandemic aside, right? Pandemic aside, with that little lull, that's a lot of money, So people, I think, what is it? A Republic Realm paid like $2.4 million to acquire 16 acres worth of metaverse land to the Metajuco Mall, what you were talking about, Roz. And that's dope too, because it's like a piece of Japan shopping district right in the middle of the Central Land, right? And why that's good is because think about how we make money. Go back to how we make money. You can rent out the land that you have right now. Now those people who own Metajuco Mall, think about people like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prado. Now they can.
So they want to be in the mall.
They want in because now think about it. Because what the whole purpose of it is two things. The whole purpose of buying a house is two things: bragging rights and ROI. That's the only two real reasons. Mm-hmm. I got a house, you apartment living in, and then you return it.
My house bigger than yours. Yeah.
I made 30K after ARV. It's only two reasons, bragging rights and ROI. So same thing with the metaverse. Louis Vuitton, all of them, they're gonna be having their clothes like Barbie and Balmain just did a collaboration. That sold out in seconds. I didn't have a chance.
So what I hear you saying, whereas real estate may be sold up here in the U.S. and many investors are not finding those 50 cents on the dollar deals, 40 cents on the dollar deals, you're saying they can go to the metaverse and rack up.
Because think about like this: the way the grid is there's only there's 90,000, a little more than 90,000 parcels of land, and you could buy more than one and connect them and turn it into an estate, right? Which actually limits the actual amount of actual land available, just like in real life. When companies buy a big block, like, well, that's over. We can't build nothing there now. They own the whole block, So it's just a lot of, just like the real world factors that play into that is the metaverse too. Like the mall, people are gonna start shopping there. Now the bragging rights, I got a Louis Vuitton sweater in the metaverse. They're gonna pay money in Ethereum or whatever the cost is. It's
Mikail,
wow.
I have a question for you. So basically, I'm thinking about like Amazon, for instance. So basically, Amazon, the metaverse is like a Amazon in the digital world. Is that right?
Huh? Yep, bingo.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bingo. Amazon.
Okay. Guys, I'm getting it now. I'm getting slowly but shit. I'm getting it. Okay.
Yeah, all those platforms, Etsy, Amazon, everything. That's what Metajuco basically is. It's an Amazon for clothes. And you can just do whatever you want, pick and choose, walk in, walk out. And how you make money, you can rent it out. You can now you can build land on your on your parcel of land. You could with that 52 by 52, you could create like a little studio. That's what I actually plan on doing. So I plan on creating like a museum. Like I hope to acquire enough rare NFTs to like create a museum and educate people, host little events in there, things like that, and make the money. Because with NFTs are flying off the shelves too, like you could buy one for 300 and like later it's worth 10,000, it's worth 30,000. You could easily buy a parcel of land with an NFT flip.
Yeah, so. Wow. And I'm like, Chris, I think I'm getting it's like two worlds now: the real world and the virtual world.
Right.
You can play part in either one or two or both.
Or both.
Yeah, both.
And as people of color, I just want to make this point before it escapes me.
Yeah.
Why I'm more in favor of the metaverse real estate is because we're not gonna get redlined. You don't know who I am.
Wow.
You can't redline me. You can't give me a different rate.
But this is all relevant. It's bringing us back to full circle of why our organization exists, and we're grateful that you are here even to talk about different ways. Maybe you can't jump into the metaverse and lay your head on the actual pillar and, mow your grass. Now you can in your virtual world. So, I want to bring that back home. Let's bring it back full circle. What do you think the fate of our housing market and communities will be with this metaverse?
The fate, honestly, is going to be on whoever the property holders are. If y'all have the vision and the ability to move forward with the property, right? So if you have that archaic mindset, then I think your properties are going to go to zero, right? But if I see, like, I envision, like, imagine having like a rental space now, using technology to maybe putting cameras or things like that, making like that room metaverse compatible, right? There's already goggles where, like, they're already playing with the idea of, like, you can wear goggles, go on a basketball court, like a half court. You know, of course, if you're familiar with Oculus, you can, like, establish your boundaries by walking around, and you're gonna be able to play with other people who have the goggles. You already know the ball weighs a certain amount. They're gonna work out the kinks where, you know, if you push it, you know, how hard you push it determines the velocity and all that. It's all mathematics, right? And it's easy when you're dealing with computers. So they're already moving to this where it's the compatibility, the real world. It's augmented reality, so it's a combination of augmented reality. Just like when we use the filters on our phone, that's augmented reality. We're already playing with that. We've been beta testing augmented reality the entire time with all these little games. Like, we don't even realize. I knew that, but we didn't. Most of us don't know that. We've been testing augmented reality for them for the longest of times. So that's why it's so sophisticated now, because we just thinking, oh, look at me, I'm old, look at me, I'm this, I'm a girl now, right? We look like that, but they're just testing the compatibilities with the facial structure and all that to make
I wanted to read an account. Some enthusiasts go so far to contend that digital land could serve as a wealth generating replacement for the physical housing market, so that many millennials and Zoomers, for those that have been priced out due to student loans, et cetera, et cetera. So, Mikail, do you mind saying how old you are?
I'm 29 years old.
What are the 29-year-olds, 21 to 35, in your groups? What is your conversation with them? What's their reaction to this metaverse, and how are they responding?
Well, I feel like it depends. I have two. I feel like, me personally, I live on the fence, right? So I have friends that's completely immersed in the crypto world, and I have friends that actually refuse to really, like, understand it or take the time, right? So when it comes to the people that are immersed in the conversation, we're talking about crypto on, like, a global scale. We're talking about how it's going to affect everything. Like, for example, like, not to get all political, but, like, one of the reasons why Russia is now moving forward is because they have enough Bitcoin, you know. And if you know about how cryptocurrency works, most other countries accept it, and you could gain, like, it's just the military science and the political science and all that behind it. With cryptocurrency, it's empowering people. Canada just labeled everybody who supports crypto Bitcoin as a terrorist. You know, pretty soon they're gonna start saying, if you own Bitcoin, you support Russia and what they're doing. Like, it gets crazy. But
you know what this boils down to. Like I said, I'm not trying to be political as well. It's like, anytime the powers that be can't make money off of it,
right?
That's what's become problem. You know, you back to prohibition. You know,
right.
They said no liquor. Then they realized how much money they were losing, and more liquor was being sold when prohibition. Same thing with the the cannabis or marijuana industry now. You know, more and more states have started to accept that. Now you have these not distilleries. What do you call them? The weed farms, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The dispensaries.
The dispensary. There you go. Thank you. I said distillery, dispensary. The other D word, dispensary.
Same thing, Chris. Same thing.
But that's my whole point. So once they kind of figure out how to get their hands on it, then it's okay. That's why it's getting legal more areas. And right now, like you said, like, we're aloof and kind of lost. Of course, Mikail, you're smart to know what's going on, but I think a lot of those people are like us. They don't have a clue. So when they don't have a clue what's going on, that's when they're gonna be. But once they figure it out, they're gonna be all in. They say in like Flynn as well.
So so with the entry level people, like people that's not in it, at the very least, I try to show them that any alternate coin, which is any altcoin, is just anything that's not Bitcoin. Any altcoin is better than your bank. You know, your bank APR, your bank APR is less than 1%. If you go on Coinbase right now, you could go to top movers and it's better than 28%, and you never even heard of these coins. But if you would put money there, you would have got more than what your bank would have gave you. Well, at the very least, I try to educate people on the utility and the power of crypto. Crypto is like, I think I forgot I was talking to somebody in Twitter Spaces. This is why I hang out on Twitter for like the real crypto people, like, because that's where we all hang out. Like, we don't hang out on Facebook or Instagram because everybody's consuming other things, right? But they were like I think the average the annual income or something like that in Nigeria was like $100, something like that. But with Bitcoin, that could be easily changed. When the adoption of cryptocurrency it actually makes the American dream possible, because you can invest $100 in a year, and then with the inflation and increase of the cryptocurrency, you could have $100,000 the next year. You're like, what? And that's how it happens. People make money all the time with the GameStop, with the Shiba Inu. The list goes on. Like the names get crazier, but the story is still the same. The money.
Yeah, I understand even stadiums are changing their names to we're now crypto.
Yes, Staples
Right.
Staples has been changed to crypto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what they're gonna do. They're of course they're doing deals with these other these Web3 companies and developers, but they already ushering it in. Because my thing is, that's how you get it. That's how you get people to start accepting it. You just listen. That's what we calling it now. Now you don't call it that. You call it meta now. Now you just get it in your head. Get it in your head. This is what we doing now. Get with it.
So, Mikail, in all honesty, do you feel anyone that wants to be in the real estate space, whether it's home ownership, commercial real estate, leasing property, do you feel that if they are not going to step into the meta at some magnitude, they're going to be left behind with a fading order or an archaic model?
Nah. You know why? Because simply put, there's still people today that still like, God dang, internet, I refuse, and that's how it is. There's always going to be something that's going to fight against what's going on, right? There's still civilization today that don't even know what a cell phone is, right? There's always going to be a equal and opposite force, right? So there's always going to be somebody. Me, I can't eat a ribeye steak in the metaverse. I can't, not yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be always going to these steakhouses. There's certain event spaces there's certain things that you're still gonna want to do in real life. So y'all still good, but I feel like it would be a disservice to not and put your money there, right? At least try it, because just like with real estate in real life, it could go sour too, but at least with Metaverse, you're not tied to any credit or things like that. Like if a mistake in the Metaverse, yeah, it hurts financially, but you're not like, dang, like, nah, I can't get a job, I can't do this, I can't, it doesn't mess up your entire life, but you'll just be pissed the heck off.
You know what's funny too? You gotta hit the nail on the head too. You say about the currency and things like that. And another reason it's going to be kind of hard for it to take off, because the U.S. and most of these countries are based on the banking system, and so that's key right there. You just kind of hit the nail on the head. We're based on the banking system. So if the crypto stuff takes off like it is, you're like you're talking about like the FDIC and all these other entities and stuff like that, they'll just go by the wayside. So anytime that you're probably harming and potentially messing with it in their wheelhouse, they're gonna fight against it.
They're gonna fight against it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about all these different entities, the Federal Reserve banks and all that kind of stuff. Because if you think about it too, the money, the paper money, whatever, a lot of times it's based off of your gold and silver and your metals anyway. And the thing is, that's why we have such a problem here in the United States with that, is because we don't have all those resources like we used to in the past. And then too, that's why crypto is becoming a bigger player now, because like you said, because it's not based on something that's a physical thing that can be anything, I guess, can be manipulated, like we talked about earlier, but it's probably a little bit harder to manipulate because it's accessible to everybody.
So I'm glad you brought that up, right? The reason why cryptocurrency is 100 times better is because you can't, once you mint out a certain amount of Bitcoin or currency, you can't mint more. That's it. Like,
right.
There's a finite amount. Right, so they could always print more money. How many $100 bills we have? How many $500 bills we have? How many? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We think, oh, cool, it's a new dollar, but we don't realize that just dropped the value of our
value.
Exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Like, so I was explaining to my therapist. I was like, yo, I have to. Finances is my only thing, right? Because I'm a single black male. I get taxed at 22%, right? Inflation is already 7%, so that's another thing. Then I get taxed on every transaction, right? Boom. I'm like, we about 60 cents now. So, and people don't even realize that. But cryptocurrency is what it is. The value is the value, right? And my thing is the powers that be, they won't let you know that their company, that their currency is going to zero. They're just gonna keep printing more, making you feel better. Hey, and it's backed on gold, like you said. I love it. But I thought about it. I'm like, all right, what is really gold? What is it? What do we use it for? Outside of technology and infrastructure, because of the conduction of electricity, how much it helps facilitate electricity and vanity, it's worthless, right? If you really think about it, gold is outside of infrastructure, technological infrastructure, it is completely worthless. So the dollar already is worthless because it's a tree. I could cut down my tree outside my front yard and print some money if I got good enough ink, but it doesn't mean it has a value, right? But
Right.
Bitcoin, crypto, all that has a value based on what its utility. And as you cannot mint more, and people who mint more, trust me, the SEC finds out immediately. That's why XRP is going through what they're going through right now, because they had false tokens and other things that was in circulation. So, but Bitcoin is a perfect algorithm. It cannot be touched. It cannot be manipulated. That's why I'm in favor of it, because all these other cryptocurrencies, they don't tell you. Other people came out with. You know what I'm saying? Other people are creating them. Most of these cryptocurrencies are only created by like a few people, and that's the big thing that they don't tell you. It's it's a decentralized platform, but there's the big wigs that know what's going on, and they know that the cryptocurrency is the boom. So you get all these, this token, this pancake token, this little milk token, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
It has
Let me throw my token. Let me throw
That sounds like a breakfast to me. Yeah.
let me throw my tokens out there.
0.00008 cents. You know, I'm gonna put 1,000 in there, and they just dumped on you. You know, and that's what happens. So this, I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few others, they like, that's it. Like, other than that, I don't think, other crypto. You can make money, but as far as like long term, like I don't really.
Yeah. So Mikail, if you will take just about 60, 120 seconds and recap, what's an NFT? How do people buy in the metaverse? And like, what's the first 3 steps?
Okay, recap. NFT, a digitally owned asset. No different than like a Fortnite skin or anything, any wearable that you would purchase in a game. It's just that the only thing is that there you can't transfer it to any other real world, other virtual application. But when you buy an NFT on Ethereum blockchain, any application or any technology, any entity that's compatible with Ethereum, they're working on it still. It's still new. You'll be able to transfer it. So for example, like if I buy a Louis Vuitton sweater on Ethereum blockchain, any game that operates on the Ethereum blockchain, I should be able to take that sweater anywhere, no matter if my avatar is a dinosaur, no matter if my avatar is a human being, a cyborg, I should be able to wear a Louis Vuitton sweater in that world. That's what the NFT is. That's the power of it. Metaverse, simply, it's a virtual world, next generation of internet. That's where most of the people are, not a good amount of people are going to be living in the future. They're going to be going to work in the metaverse and then going home taking a break, get some wine, and go right back into the goggles they play with their homies or watch sporting events. That's where it's going. The pandemic kind of like accelerated that, because there are some people some people, we outside now. Like some people like, yeah, I can't wait to go back outside. But there's some people it's like, nope, it's right. I'm done.
They found their sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm staying in the metaverse.
Like it's always a other side. Like there's going to be pro this, but there's going to be anti that. That's why, like I said, to go back to anybody who does traditional real estate, you still good, because there's always somebody that wants to actually be in a physical place.
Yeah.
Why it's so important? Bragging rights and ROI. Same thing goes for NFTs. Same thing goes for metaverse real estate. What you can create on it, you could create art. You could create buildings that people want to buy, rent. You could rent them out. You could create office buildings that other companies will buy the building, or they could rent out, and you can make passive income. Just like in some real estate, commercial properties go for $20,000 a month. You could get $20,000 a month in cryptocurrency just to let a company, like a big company, use your office that you actually designed, right? How does that work specifically? So you'll get, just like in the real world, you'll get an architectural blueprint, and then after you design that, then you'll hand it over to a developer. Then it becomes a video game, because that's essentially what virtual reality is. It's a video game. That's how you do it. How do you buy it? You simply just go on the Decentraland website or OpenSea, which is a secondary market. Secondary markets are just like if you go buy, when you put a Jordan sneaker comes out first, you got to go to Foot Locker, but then after it sells out, you got to go to Flight Club or StockX, that secondary market where the price is like times 10. That's how you buy it on OpenSea, secondary market. And it takes seconds. I remember y'all wanted to know, it takes seconds. As long as you have enough money, you can boom, boom, no lawyer needed because the land is easily swappable because it's decentralized finance.
Wow. Oh, honey, this has been quite a bit of education,
Yeah.
insight. Thank you so much,
Don't worry.
Mikail. Now, for those who will come back and listen to this, and for anyone that wants to reach out to you, first and foremost, and we're going to wrap up with our roundup here in just a moment, into a few announcements. But how can people reach you? What's the best way for them to reach you if they have any questions?
So if y'all have any questions, y'all could just find me on Facebook. My full name is there. I'm fully doxxed. I believe in full transparency of who I am. On Twitter, I'm not doxxed, but my knowledge is more shared on Twitter because, like I said, I feel like with Facebook and Instagram, my knowledge falls on deaf ears. So I don't really, I'm not as much as active on Facebook and Instagram. But as far as Twitter, like I could plug y'all in, DM y'all, like. But then other than that, I'm on Telegram with my trading group. That's really it.
Mikail?
So Facebook, really, if you want to reach me, if you're not in my trading group, Facebook is Facebook or Instagram because my full name is there.
Yeah.
And Mikail, can you hear me?
Yes.
When we sign off here, don't stay on. Don't stay online once we sign.
I got you.
Yeah, Chris, get ready to charge you up, Mikail.
I got you.
Okay, well, we're gonna definitely do our round robin. Before we do that, Chris, are there any announcements?
I just want to remind everybody about the Midwinter Conference is going to be coming up in April, so be aware of that. And like I said, we do have some events coming up here pretty soon. A little bit further down the road, but I always want to put it on people's minds. We do have another event with the. It's going to be in May, but I like to people get those wheels turning right now for the non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, and the personal hygiene products. That's going to be coming up in May. And so start getting those things together now. And of course, I got to tell people all the time, if somebody say, hey, I got stuff they want to give us, so it's now, I'm always taking it. Even like with the code drive, it was a complete success. I'm still gathering codes. I mean, I don't know if people saw on Facebook all the coats and all the bags that I had behind me. I've got an additional like maybe 9 or 10 bags since then.
Wow.
So I take stuff, it's not like I'm doing this for like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this for a show. If I had people last year bring me stuff in May and June and July, I just take it when I can get it, so I'm just grateful for that. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and start the round robin, Ms. Roz.
Awesome. Again, Mikail, we really thank you. So on behalf of NARAB and our board that is sitting here, we are all on the board for NARAB. We thank you. And we also speak from the heart of Miss Laura Washington, who's the president. We thank you, Laura, for allowing us to be here to provide this knowledge and invite speakers to come and share information that can help people be inspired about their next level of wealth building. So we, again, thank you so much. I'm Rosalind Booker, Principal Broker, CEO of Arbrook Realty, Director of Arbrook Cares, which is our nonprofit. We birth dreams and build legacies in real estate, helping renters become homeowners. For the sake of our relationship, Mikail and I's relationship, you can reach out to me at 972-996-4702. That's 972-996-4702. That's not my cell phone number. That is a landline. If you want to know about these digital assets, trading with robots, exponential ROI, creating generational wealth. It's all here at our fingertips if we are ready and willing, right, Mikail, to be open to learning something new and tapping into new financial money markets and systems. Rhonda, you're
okay. And I'm Rhonda Hutchison. I'm the Loan Lioness. I'm a residential mortgage lender. And listen, if you want to be in I know there's reality, virtual world, and real world, but if you're looking for a mortgage in the real world, you want to call me. Yes, give me a call. With the virtual, you may want to leave it to Mikail, but yeah, if you want the real world, give me a call at 214-856-3747. I may get to the other side, but for right now, I got to stay right here.
All right.
Yes, but give me a call in regards to any of your residential needs.
And once again, I'm Chris Ziegler with the Ziegler Agency Allstate, located in Frisco, Texas. And my thing is that customer service with a personal touch and consultation and what?
Representation. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
Consultation, education, and
Education with
consultation.
consultation.
She don't get a whipping. But no, all seriousness though. But my main thing is to make sure that I protect your assets from the personal lines like your home and your auto, and then also your financial assets too with the life insurance and some other financial things that I do as well. So definitely give me a call about that as well. I can be reached at 214-870-4269. And if you want to be a part of anything that I'm doing for a community standpoint, you will know what's going on for that. Still give me a call at that same number at 214-870-4269. And Mikail, want to thank you, dear sir, for being on here today. And once again, once we sign off, you need to hang around for a minute.
I got you.
And I look forward to talking to you for maybe about 3 or 4 more minutes.
Got you.
No, 35 or 45 more minutes.
Yeah.
Mikail, you need to tell him what your rate is per hour.
Yeah, and you may want to go get your box lunch because I promise you.
It's funny. It's so
Awesome, guys. So we're here every second Tuesday and fourth Tuesday at high noon, 12 noon Central Standard Time for this hour of power. We'll see you next time. Y'all make it a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great one.